There are a wide range of concessions that you can pay to a phone depending on factors like value or its remaining inside a brand's portfolio. With regards to the Pro Maxes and Ultras, notwithstanding, there's undeniably less leeway. The Max and the greater they are, the harder they fall felt able for last year's Galaxy S20 Ultra, which promised so a lot, principally from its noteworthy sounding camera specs, yet underdelivered as an eventual outcome. With the current year's S21 Ultra, we're trusting Samsung has corrected the wrongs of its ancestor and concurrently made a smartphone genuinely fitting of the Ultra moniker. Design and construct. There's no way to avoid the way that tastefully 2020 was an off year for Samsung's Galaxy S phones. The S20 Ultra was perhaps the most obviously terrible guilty party of the pack, with its huge shiny structure delivered in level tones and loaded down with an unattractive dark adjusted square shape of a camera game plan that appeared to be an idea in retrospect, very nearly 1 year on, and keeping in mind that the S21 territory is certainly a development of the S20 line's design. It's accomplished something of a shine-up that offers more keen feel and more sure types of real value. The Galaxy S21 and S21 Plus might blow some people's minds with their two-tone signature ghost violet colorway, yet the Ultra comes in undeniably more steady, complete, that attract the eye to the phone's structure above all else, and that is no awful thing. The form-cut camera module is the new characterizing design component across the current year's Galaxy S range, and the Ultra's understanding is the boldest and generally forcing yet traversing close to half of the phone's width. Instead of differentiating colors, the differentiating surfaces give the S21 Ultra a more refined look and feel than its opposition, with a reflexive variety-matched metal casing against a softly finished glossy silk finish back and camera facade that all in all pervade the phone's style with an unobtrusive certainty, while likewise deftly repulsing fingerprints and smursesh past completion. The adjusted edges and somewhat bended Gorilla Glass Victus on the back and front guarantee that in spite of its size, the S21 Ultra feels good to hold. This sizable 6'8" handset, with its all-glass and metal development, likewise proves misleading lightweight, notwithstanding timing and 228 grams. Being a Samsung lead, there's the normal top-level fit and fabricate quality, the shortfall of a headphone jack and IP68 residue, and water protection from Think About as well. Display in S Pen. While 0.1 and more modest than last year's contestant, you're actually getting a far-reaching 6'8" board to play with, utilizing a similar WQHD Plus resolution, 20:9 perspective proportion, and HDR10 Plus consistent unique AMOLED 2X innovation. There was practically nothing to whine about with the screen on last year's Ultra, in keeping in mind that the extensive size and the adjusted edges will not be as everybody would prefer. The S21 Ultra's display is a delight to connect with, flaunting dazzling difference, energetic variety, wide powerful reach, and pin-sharp clearness that nothing else all in all verges on matching at present. One little improvement is a maximum pinnacle brilliance of 1500 nits, albeit both the current year's and last year's phones offer great perceivability notwithstanding, even in splendid environmental factors. Where the S21 Ultra's display takes out in front is with its capacity to display content at its local resolution and at its maximum 120Hz refresh rate, all the while last year's Galaxy S and Note gadgets had you pick either full resolution or super smooth review. With the S21 Ultra, there are no compromises to be made in such manner. While you can lock resolution, refresh rate must be dialed from standard up to versatile, and that implies the Ultra doesn't run at 120Hz continually. However, rather naturally scales from as low as 10Hz to a pinnacle of 120, depending on the utilization case within reach. This powerful change isn't special to Samsung's gadgets, yet fills in as a fundamental method for ensuring good battery duration, while additionally as yet conveying high refresh rate. Seeing S Pen, another display party pieces. Interestingly, on a Galaxy S phone, support for Samsung's S Pen pointer. At send-off, Samsung presented two new styli close by the S21 Ultra, a regular S Pen and the still unreleased S Pen Pro. The fundamental distinction between the S Pen Insight and that of the one promised by the S Pen Pro is the extra Bluetooth usefulness that Note 20 clients will currently be know all about, controlling the phone's camera and exploring around the client experience with basic air motions. All things considered, because of the Wacom tech at play, you can in any case press the side button on the S Pen while drifting the nib over the outer layer of the display for extra features and works. Software and features. The most recent form of Samsung's client experience, One UI 3.1, debuts on the Galaxy S21 territory. For those acquainted with the past age of One UI, this cycle doesn't rework the rulebook, yet it centers around improving perspectives like warning clearness and dress and a couple of new embellishments, for example, vivified call screens. For those approaching from Android gadgets, that run more like a stock Encounter 1 UI will take a little becoming acclimated to, albeit the expectation to learn and adapt will probably be shallower than moving to a heavier gauge skin like Oppo's ColorOS, Xiaomi's MIUI, or Huawei's Feeling UI. Camera. As addressed before, the Galaxy S20 Ultra's greatest hindrance was a strong camera arrangement that, practically speaking, underdelivered, principally because of some problematic centering issues and zoom capacities that simply weren't generally so noteworthy as Samsung had advertised them up to be. With the S21 Ultra, the organization has adjusted each aspect of this framework, and the proof is in the pudding. A refreshed 108MP lead sensor is presently upheld by a laser self-adjust module, and keeping in mind that the self-adjust skilled 12MP ultra-wide is similarly as you'd find it on the S21 and S21 Plus, there's new a double fax zoom framework that performance. At send-off, the S21 territory features as a component of a somewhat restrictive gathering of phones, fueled by Qualcomm's most recent leader Snapdragon 888 SoC, or in business sectors including Europe and the UK act as the presentation gadgets for the organization's own top-level Exynos 210 chipset. Those in Exynos hauling locales have, previously, been headed to disappointment, as the models depending on Samsung's own silicon have reliably missed the mark concerning their Snapdragon-based doppelgangers, with respect to both performance and power effectiveness. In the number one spot up to the Exynos 210's delivery, notwithstanding, Samsung and the early benchmarks propose that its most recent chip would at long last have the option to stand its ground against Qualcomm's 888. Battery duration. Battery limit stays steady contrasted with last year's S20 Ultra at a decently enormous 5000 mAh. Taking into account the S21 Ultra is the principal Galaxy gadget to offer 120Hz high refresh rate seeing at WQHD+ resolution. Except for the benchmarks explicitly expressed over, the gadget was tried with both these key display features and powered consistently, regardless of the normal strain running. The display at full bore without a doubt causes the S21 Ultra's lifespan is noteworthy, ready to convey a day of weighty use and a day and a portion of more ordinary use, with very nearly 6 hours of screen-on time on offer each charge. In a market where organizations like Oppo and Xiaomi are pushing past 65W quick charging, the S21 Ultra's maximum 25W charging speeds sound nearly common. While there's no getting away from the way that Samsung is dawdling on quick charging, in certifiable testing 56% charge following 30 minutes is entirely decent and ought to own most clients to the day's end. Finally, thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.